Hi everyone and welcome to Newegg TV. My name is Paul. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing on this Samsung UD590 28-inch 4K monitor, bringing 3840 by 2160 resolution to the desktop space at 60 Hz. Now this is the retail box as well as the shipping box, and this has been shipped, which is why you can tell it's a little worse for the wear, but there are a few specs down here I wanted to point out. First off, response time, 1 millisecond. That's thanks to the LED backlit TN LCD display. You also have 1 billion, or actually 1.07 billion color reproduction. It features picture-in-picture via the multiple inputs, and you can actually view a full 1080 screen in just 1/4 of this display's actual surface area. You can upscale from lower resolutions to Ultra HD, and it will just sort of do that automatically. You get 2 HDMIs as well as a DisplayPort input, and then finally, of course, fully Windows 8 compatible. Taking a look at the contents of the retail box, monitor itself, of course, is right there, and everything was very well packaged, so despite the box being a little dinged up, everything inside was perfectly fine. This is the monitor stand, and it is very sturdy. It comes in a couple different pieces, and you will need some Phillips head screws in order to install it. You can probably also use a flat head, but I'm going to use a Phillips head. I'll show you guys how to do that in just a second. Here's your documentation. So you got a quick setup guide. You also have warranty information here behind that. This does come with a 1-year parts and labor warranty from Samsung. Then a user's manual is included on that disc as well. Over here we have an AC power brick, so this is the end that goes into the monitor. It does come with an AC adapter cable, of course, as well, and this is the US version, so standard US plug. And then we have a couple display cables, including a DisplayPort with full-size DisplayPort plugs, as well as HDMI. Here's a quick look at the stand assembly, so I'm just going to take these two pieces, connect them like so, screw in with the Phillips head screws, and there's 2 to lend it a bit more sturdiness and stability. With that locked in, just a couple more screws there. This entire unit should just snap right onto this little piece, which comes protected with a bit of foam. And snap, and we're all set. So here's a look at the back of the UD590. As you can see, it has what is actually a plastic housing, but it does have a faux black brush metal finished. You got a Samsung logo right there at the top. Do note that there is not a vase mount on the back of this. I believe Samsung made that decision to keep costs down and also keep the chassis itself a little bit slimmer. But here at the center we have your video inputs, and just take a closer look at those. We have a couple HDMI, so those are going to be most likely used if you want up to full 4K display, but you will be limited to 30 Hz for that. This is a good option if you want to do that picture-in-picture though. DisplayPort is going to be your best bet if you want full 4K display resolution, which once again is 3840 by 2160, and DisplayPort will be able to natively do a 60 Hz refresh rate from your video source from your computer. You also have a headphone jack here, which can also be used as an audio out if you want to take the audio that can be transmitted via DisplayPort or HDMI and then route that out to a separate set of speakers or a receiver. And then finally, of course, the AC adapter input right there, so you can get power to the unit. Down below the videos, or the video ins, you have a cable tie or a cable hook right there, so you can use that to route your cables and keep them tucked away. There's a Kensington lock down there as well, so you can lock down the monitor if you're in an area where you might be worried about possibly somebody stealing your monitor. And then over on the left side, at least looking at it from the back, you have a combo button here. So you can push that button in to turn the unit on or off. Then it's also a rocker up, down, left, and right, so you can use that to navigate through the on-screen menus. I'm just going to rotate this to the side to give you guys more of a profile view, as you can see. So there's the thickness of the monitor itself, at least as far as the housing goes, and then the stand down here at the bottom, which doesn't have too much adjustment options, but you can do -1 degree tilt forward, and you can go up to +15 tilt backwards. So a little bit of a range of movement there. And here's the front of the UD590, and as you can see, I've gone ahead and connected this to our background system so you guys can get a look at what it looks like with the display actually up. So each of these squares that you can see is a 1920 by 1080 resolution image that is displayed on our 1920 by 1080 monitors in the background. So here you have 4 times that resolution, or a total of 3840 by 2160. The panel again is a LED backlit TN, or twisted pneumatic panel, which is known more so for its refresh rate than its color depth, but here is an example of how you can get really, really fast response time with a 4K display. Also the refresh rate, 60 Hertz, which is something that has been a little bit more difficult or harder to come by when it comes to 4K displays. There's been lots of 30 Hertz displays out there, but this one can do it natively via a single DisplayPort input, and there's no need to set up MST or multi-stream transport mode or anything like that. The response time is 1 millisecond. Viewing angle horizontally is 170 degrees, and then the brightness is 300 candelas per square meter, or 370 nits. Color reproduction again is 1.07 billion, and a contrast ratio of 1,000 to 1. Now I wanted to show you guys the on-screen displays here, so I'm just going to be using the little knob here at the back. So here, once you push it in with the device on, you can see you can easily go over to choose your source. If you go up, you have the main menu, down is to power off, and to the right is picture-in-picture or picture-by-picture. So I'm just going to turn this mode on really quickly to show you that option, and you can choose which input you want, your source, your sound source individually, and also the image size and the position on the screen. So I set this up really quickly just to show you guys. So the black square, or the black rectangle up there in the top left, is where an additional input would be displaying. I only have one input going right now, but that's where it would be. Then of course you can move that around the screen. You can make it larger or smaller, or you can do half of the screen with one input and half of the screen with the other input. Going back to that, size, sound, position, image size, contrast, all that good stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and go up to the main menu to show you some of those options as well. So here you can adjust things such as the picture brightness and contrast. You can also go down to image size, set it up for widescreen, or here you can also access that picture-by-picture mode. Language, display time, transparency. Here you can turn eco saving mode on or off. You have a PC or an audio video mode, so you can actually expand the picture if you have a lower resolution display signal going through there and it is not resizing it properly. You can also turn off the key repeat time acceleration. Actually, I'm kind of curious about that one. Let's see what it does. Configure the response rate of a button when the button is pressed. Oh, that makes sense. So right now it's on acceleration. Also, you can set an off timer, power LED on, and you can reset everything. And then finally here in information mode, and that's where you can see that yes, we are connected via DisplayPort, 3840 by 2160 resolution, at 133.3 kilohertz or 60 hertz refresh rate. Super sweet, and just pushing left will get you out of that menu. Actually, while I'm at it, why don't I go ahead and turn that picture-by-picture mode off. Oopsie. And then we can go back to the main desktop. Okay, one last thing I wanted to show you guys, and that is just the fact that with it connected to a PC, you can see I actually have 3 displays going right now. The 2 on the left there are 1920 by 1080, and the one on the right, 3840 by 2160. One other element, if you're jumping up to a 4K display like this, especially something with a 28-inch, which is slightly smaller when it comes to 4K displays, relatively speaking, of course, you'll notice that the Windows menu and icons down there are very, very small. And simply, you can basically use Windows settings to go ahead and increase the magnification. That will get those up to a size that's large enough that you can actually see them and click on them. But 4K being fairly new technology, that's just something that out of the box Windows 7 and Windows 8, you might need to take a little bit of adjustment. And that is going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Once again, this has been the Samsung UD590 28-inch LED backlit LCD 4K display, which can do 60 Hertz right out of the box via DisplayPort. And if you are interested in this product, check out the link in the description. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the price of this particular monitor, especially if you're comparing it to the prices of other 4K monitors that are out on the market. Thanks for watching this video, though. We'll see you next time.